Hi friends, today we're going to continue to talk about danger brain, and I want to give you that example of danger brain being necessary for us. In fact, it can be helpful. When I first started recording these videos, it took danger brain to activate my sympathetic nervous system so that I could be motivated to begin this series of videos that I believe is so key to human understanding, that we haven't simplified enough for a general audience to pick up and name and interact with. If we interact and name our nervous system, we can tame it. And so yesterday I spoke about the reactive danger brain style of fight. And today I wanted to talk about the reactive danger brain style of freeze. Now, freeze is the danger brain style that the bear is at the door and there's no hope. Many times this freeze is on the parasympathetic nervous system level of despondency or depression. Sometimes it's at the level of shame. And so shame is one of the 9 affects that Sylvan Tompkins studied in babies. So in infants, before they were able to talk, he named 9 different affects, and shame is one of them. So we know that shame is a survival mechanism. Shame is a feeling that when you were looking at a beautiful sunset and your family almost gotten eaten by the bear. So shame is kind of that elbow to the shoulder saying, hey, look what happened. We can't do this anymore. In our culture, we take shame to a different level, because even when there isn't imminent danger, a shortcut to get people to comply is through shame. And that ends up being not helpful and leading people to feel more down, despondent, alone, isolated, uncared for. And so this is the danger brain style of freeze, is when we get to the bears at the door and there's no hope. The difficulty with the danger brain style of freeze when you're depressed and low is that we expect the person who is depressed or despondent or full of shame to kind of pick themselves up and ask for help and ask for what they need. And sometimes they just don't know how to ask for help, how to ask for what they need. And so it's kind of on that opposite pole. If we remember the grid we talked about yesterday, it's on the opposite pole of fight. It's a reactive danger brain style. We're all susceptible to it. And when we think about that responsibility to pull ourselves out of that freeze style, I hope that there are some people in your life that would help you and would want you to reach out and would make sure that you are having pleasure and accomplishment every single day. And so that's the first line of defense against that reactive style of freeze, is to have pleasure and accomplishment. And pleasure can be very small. It can be watching a funny video or meme. It can be taking your favorite non-alcoholic beverage and having that. It can be making your bed in the morning as accomplishment, or taking a shower. So there's lots of ways to accomplish starting to activate your nervous system. And so that's one of the keys, is when you're in a parasympathetic state of depression or feeling down or despondent, behavioral activation is the gold standard way to move yourself out of it. If you're having trouble, make yourself accountable to other people. Like, hey, if you haven't heard from me by noon, can you send me a funny meme? Or can you send me a funny meme every day in order for me to have a good laugh when I get up in the morning? There's many different ways to accomplish behavioral activation, and I encourage you to look that up. It's known in the cognitive behavioral therapy world, and of course used all over in therapy to help people who are experiencing depression. Again, you want to lean into safe brain, and that means that any signs that you're giving your nervous system that the bear's at the door, you try to eliminate. So if you are laying down or sitting still for too often, getting up and moving will help your nervous system understand that the bear isn't at the door. So this was the reactive danger brain style of freeze. We covered fight and freeze, which are the reactive danger brain styles. And we will get to the core danger brain styles in the next 2 sessions of our psychoeducation series on danger brain, safe brain. Continue to lean into safe brain. There's a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of times when we are in danger brain. Continue to lean into safe brain. And I want to say that no matter what identity you hold, whether it's a gender identity, a political identity, a religious identity, I hope you find these videos helpful, as in order to make a safe brain world, we all need to participate. Thank you. Have a safe brain day.